How y'all doing out there? This is your man, Nico B. This is the Black Effect Enterprise, and this is an episode of the Black Effect. All right, I want to go ahead and get into this. This is gonna be a interesting message, man, and it's a truthful message. Have you realized that it's a lot of lack of creativity in hip hop these days? Have you noticed that? Now I know a lot of people who grew up who are young, like if you grew up in the times, you didn't grow up in the 90s, you were born in the, you know, grew up in the 2000s, you may not realize, like if you're a person who your favorite, who you think the best rapper is a Chief Keef, or, no disrespect to Keith, but if you think that your favorite rapper is a Nipsey Hussle, you know what I'm saying, Lord, if it was a new age rapper like that, Kodak Black, if you think he's the best lyricist or that's the best rapper to you, then you don't know what I'm talking about. It's like totally over. What I'm gonna say is gonna go totally over your head. But those of us who saw all of the eras, who saw, I didn't grow up in the time of the B-boy or the Rakim era, but I went back and I definitely went back and did my research and the due diligence of listening to the music. And you learn that things like lyrics, you also saw this example in the battle with these versus battles. You see that time don't change lyrics. It don't diminish quality. It's just not true. It don't do that. I know people try to make it seem like the new thing is better. No, you see, time reveals all. Time reveals all truths and shows, and it always shows that the sugar gonna rise to the cream rises to the top. But nowadays you don't have much creativity difference in flows in a certain era, man, all the way up into the 2000 era, like all the way up into into this new modern day era, of the millennials, and all the way up into this time, hip hop was basically, it was tribal, it was regional. I'm gonna do a video on that. Hip hop was regional, like you had different flows. Different regions had different sounds, and you couldn't bite another person's flow. You couldn't take their concepts, they beats. Nowadays, the main point of this video is nowadays, man, the lack of creativity you hear people rapping over other people's beats. Like, you used to only hear that on mixtapes. Now you got producers taking other people's like old school beats, remixing them. Basically, another example of that is the Megan Thee Stallion. She just took the Freaking You beat, rapped on it. You have a lot of you have a lot of guys who've already done it. That you didn't took the man. It's people is basically. This is happening more often. I'm hearing this back to back. Moneybag Yo have what was that? The DMX beat. That's what it is. That's what that beat is. He rapping off the DMX beat on the Wokeisha song. You have a lot of producers basically just taking old beats of artists that they ain't, bro. These artists, you could still put on a song with Moneybag Yo, and they'll smoke them. Like you could put them, no disrespect to Moneybag Yo, but you could put DMX. Come on, man, you put DMX side by side with Moneybag Yo right now. His skill will still surpass Moneybag Yo's. But the thing is DMX had a unique style. When DMX was out, did nobody sound like him? What you chickens want from a nigga? You know that? Get at me, dog. He growling and barking on the song. Nobody did that. Jay-Z didn't sound like DMX. Nas didn't sound like Jay-Z. Nas flow was unique for New York. Nas flow was unique for New York. You understand? Like he had a he had a more of a his flow was always choppy to me. Like it was more abstract, one of those. It was a choppy, punchy and flow. Like it didn't flow as easy as like a Jay-Z. Jay-Z had a different flow. Jay-Z used to stop the way, man, I have to do a whole breakdown on, on the differences of these cadences. They didn't sound like the Locks. Jada Kiss didn't sound like Jay-Z. You see, nowadays, dudes sound the same. They could be from a New York dude, sound like a dude from Chicago. A dude from Chicago sound like a dude from down south. Dude from down south sound like a dude from Chicago. You don't know who's who, like, and they taking beats and everybody rapping off south beats. Everybody just doing the same bass heavy thing. New York used to rap off their own beats, man. A Juvenile Manny Fresh beat didn't sound like a Jay-Z Rockweiler beat or a Timberland beat at the time. Like, now, don't get me wrong, Timberland's from the Midwest. I think Timberland kind of like meshed, he had like a hybrid style, but it was dope. It still didn't sound like a Heatmaker beats. Timberland, made some dope beats, but he didn't sound like, he like a giant in the game. He didn't sound like Dr. Dre. Similar production, yeah, cues here, but these men carved out their own thing, and this is what made them great, and this is what made hip hop great. Without these elements of uniqueness and stuff, you just start to get what we have here, and it's a bunch of bland music. I got to give it to the women. The women are trying harder to mix it up harder than the men. The men don't even care about lyrics no more. Like top 5 dead or alive. Like that first when Jada Kiss said that, niggas like, yeah, like, nah, that's not so. Like, some people may not still have him in the top 5, but definitely in the top, I would say he in the top 5, and I say, top 10, at least top 10. But you got people like, Jay-Z, Nas, Jada Kiss, Cameron, Mace. You starting to see more people, like, you starting to see these people and appreciate them for their craft now. Like, as time goes, Lil Kim, like, these people had a lot more lyrics. Like, even Lil Kim, like she'll still out rap women today. You have you could go on. Just the list go on and on. Eminem is even still around. Like, we know Eminem a crush Jack Harlow. Like, even though no disrespect to Jack Harlow, at least he trying to switch it up too. I mean, but bro, he not no Eminem. Come on. These Chicago rappers are cool. Some of them, none of them are really out. That Lil Durk, like, but you can't none of the Chicago rappers really come out make it mainstream. Unfortunately, they really don't live to be that long, and that's a sad thing, but it's the truth. They be underground. Like, so the only Chicago rappers you really know of is the ones I named, like Chief Keef, the Lil Durks. Now with Lil Durk, what can you compare Lil Durk to Kanye West? Like, really? No, I don't even. At least, pardon me. At least he tries to have a unique sound. But it's like, it's really just no style. Like, I don't even know what you could call Lil Durk. Like, at first he was auto-tuned to, we already know that's unoriginal, like auto-tune, but at least he was trying to carve out his own niche in Chicago, man. I give him that. But still, lyrically and things, you can't compare that to the flows Lil Durk only have a couple of flows, man. You can't compare that to what the concepts and the flows that Kanye come with. Look at Kanye West concerts now. Kanye West then brought the Lord to the to the hip hop genre. You know what I'm saying? He brought powerful music to hip hop. He's furthering it. He's taking it further. Hip hop can't sustain itself rooted in foolishness. Puff Daddy knew that. He knew that in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't gonna go no further than niggas getting killed on the streets and just talking about it. But yeah, man, you don't have too much. You don't have too much creativity, and I'm not feeling that. Because I come from an era where you couldn't, like, again, you couldn't bite somebody's style. Look at the misunderstanding Cypress Hill had with Ice Cube, and that was just a small infraction. You know, you had people stealing hoes. If people tried to take your style or something like that, you heard Pac and he said, look, he was talking to Nas. That nigga said, Nas, your whole style is bitten. You heard my melodies, heard about my life in the papers, read about my life in the papers, all my run-ins with authorities, felonious capers. Now you want to live my life? You know what I'm saying? Just talking crazy to Nas, man, you know, saying that he was unoriginal and unauthentic. So come on. You know I can't let the new stuff slide. But honestly, I don't listen to any new music past a certain time. I don't care what nobody say. You call me old fashioned, whatever. It don't matter. I don't want to listen to. That was I grew up in the golden era of hip hop. That was the golden era. Now don't get me wrong. Like I said, more women are basically running the game these days, and hey, you know, kudos to them. But I look at what they perpetuate. Look at like what they do. Like some of them, they don't even care about lyrics for the most part. Like where's the Lauryn Hill? Where's the diversity in the females? There isn't much diversity in the females. You have, what's the difference between Ruby Rose? They all have the Nicki Minaj archetype. Come on, let's be real. What's the difference of a Ruby Rose and a Cash Doll? What's the difference between Asian Doll and Cuban Doll? What's the difference between a Molly Brazy and a Rico Nasty? What's the difference, man? Like, you know, you could swap them and keep swapping. Just keep name one, and you swap them out. The women like Rhapsody, they stay underground. They stay buried. Like, people don't even support them. Even an artist like a Coi Leray, who has a somewhat unique sound, she basically has still had to fall in line with the whore of Babylon system that's the music industry, and basically whore herself out and start taking out clothes. You think if Benzino had his way, I don't think that would be the image and direction he want to take it. You see that new video she got? That's basically, you know, softcore porn. You know, these women know what they doing. And again, at least I got to give it to her. Like I said, though, man, look, I'm not trying to single out specific artists. It's just the fact that if you just look at the game, it's lacking a lot of originality. You don't have artists trying to stand out, because everything's all meshed together. Everybody is together, working together, basically. It's just becoming one big pop genre, one big thing, and that's fine. I think, you know, hip hop needs to move in more that positive light. I mean, that's the thing about, like I said, more power to the women. At least, see, women's gangster is selling coochie and selling nigga sex and doing all that other stuff. Yeah, that's not a good look. You know, it go to show you who really ruin their image and or perpetuate that image. Who really sells it and approves of the image of the black woman looking looking promiscuous. But at least they're not violent for the most part. Like women maybe time I pull up and all this like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, but we already know that those two, they not gonna take it that far. Nobody want to see these two women get hurt. One of them get their brains blew out or maimed, or one of them now they on a ventilator. We don't, we don't want to see none of that. Don't nobody ever want to see that. Men even step in and mediate that all the way, before that happened. So at least with the women, like I said, they taking it more to a pop. So like men for the most part, it was a lot of pride and pride is a pride and prejudice, nigga. Nah, but pride and bravado, So hey, more power to I think the women need more power to the ladies, but I think they need to just start, worrying about their own image now, and how they looking. At least, the one who's, like I said, it's the Nicki Minaj archetype. She's caused, first of all, Lil' Kim has said, I set all these things into motion. She's the grandmother of it, but Nicki Minaj kept it going in the modern day age. Most of these women is trying to do the Nicki Minaj blueprint, you know what I'm saying? Cardi B came after that and all that. But with that, they need to think, at least that, Nicki Minaj is trying to view her image now. You need women to view the image that they have now in the time that they're in, and decide where you want to take this, man. Where do you want to take this to? Like Missy Elliott, man. Missy Elliott didn't sound like Trina. Missy Elliott brought so much to the game for women. Very unique, very talented woman, man. Right alongside Timberland. So I want to see more creativity just coming from music, but I don't think you'll ever have an era like, again, like the golden era of the 90s hip hop. But I'm going to do a separate video on that also. So with that being said, creativity, people rapping off other people's beats, man. That's unheard of. You never had that. It's lacking a lot of that in hip hop. All right, it's your man Nico B. I'm gone. Tell me what you think in the comments.